Okay guys, so this is the first time I've had any lights on the dash of this Mazda CX-9. It's at 53,000 miles, and as you can see, we have a battery light as well as a check engine light. I did hook it up to my scanner here, and that's the code right there related to the check engine light. Now I did check the battery voltage and it is low. I'll show you that here in a second, and I'm pretty sure that this code here is also related to the battery voltage. So we're going to change that today, and then hopefully that'll clear all our codes here for us. All right, so once you have the hood up, guys, here is the battery right here on the driver's side. If you just pull this back, this is a cover for the positive terminal. The red terminal is always the positive terminal. And so one way to check the battery voltage, guys, is to use a multimeter like this. And I'll show you that here right now. Just going to turn that on. Make sure that you're set to the voltage. And then since this is a 12 volt battery, I just have the resolution set to 20. So once you've hooked up your two leads, red and black, of course, here, then you can just take the black one, put that on the negative of the battery terminal, and the red one on the positive of the battery terminal. All right, now I'm just gonna touch the red lead to the positive and the black lead to the negative terminal on the battery. And then I'll look at my multimeter, and as you can see, we're just above 12 volts. And that's right about the threshold for where a battery will start a vehicle, guys. This vehicle did start about 30 minutes ago, but it took about 3 seconds or so to start. So that's when I knew that there was something up. Okay guys, so the first step to taking out this battery is we're gonna disconnect the negative battery terminal. You always wanna do the negative terminal first. That way you don't accidentally short anything out. Then we'll do the positive terminal. And then we're gonna take off these two 10 millimeter tie down bolts here. And these are all 10 millimeter. There you go, that one's off. Just kind of tuck that down in the back there. I'll do the positive. Now the tie down bolts. Now you can just pull off this little bracket and this little J hook where, see, there's a thread on the end there. So that's all that is. My second one fell down there, so I'll grab that as soon as I get the battery out. All right, this is just a little like insulator cover that a lot of batteries have. And I might not be able to get it out all the way until I pull the battery out. We'll see. So there's the little insulator. All right, and now the battery is just sitting in the tray. These are kind of heavy, but just reach in and grab it out of there. All right, so this is the battery, guys. This is the OEM battery. As you can see, it says Panasonic, made in Japan. Up top, you can see the sticker with the Japanese writing on it. Now, our issue here is not that the level is low. So as you can see, it kind of has a translucent side here, and our level is right here. So these style lead acid batteries actually do need maintenance. You just need to check the fluid levels every now and then. If the fluid gets too low, then the battery will start to lose charge. And the way that you do that is these are little caps right here for each cell, and you just have to take those off. And then if you need to add fluid, you just add deionized water. And it's a very simple process. I do have a video on my channel on how to do that, but that's not our problem here today, guys. This is just roughly a 3.5-year-old battery. This is a 2023 Mazda CX-9. Build date was October of 22. So that's roughly, you know, how old this battery is. Usually there'll be a little sticker that tells you the date of the battery, but I'm not seeing one on this. Now this is a group 35 battery, guys. That's the size of the battery. And when it comes to batteries, all you really need to focus on is the group size. So you have the right size battery so that it'll actually fit in your vehicle and that it's not too small. And the cold cranking amps. The actual cranking amps don't matter as much as the cold cranking amps. So for this vehicle, you want a battery with at least 640 cold cranking amps. And again, normally that'll be, you know, labeled on the battery somewhere, but for some reason I don't see it here. So here's our replacement battery, guys. As you can see, it's a Group 35 battery, 650 cold cranking amps. Now this is a AGM battery, which stands for absorbent glass mat technology. And really the only difference between these two is this is a sealed battery, so it is maintenance free. There's never any fluid to fill up in it. It's also a little more resistant to vibration, which is something that can kill batteries over time. And then lastly, you know, on average, it'll last maybe a year to two longer than your standard lead acid battery. So you're looking at about 4 to 7 years for these and 3 to 5 on these ones. But other than that, all the stats are the same. Both of them will work fine in your guys' vehicles. These cost about 40 to 50% more. Okay, so let me show you where the little J hooks for the battery tie down go. So you see these little, you know, ears here on the side of the battery tray. So these J hooks just kind of go under there. They kind of hook in there like that. And then same thing over here on this side. If you look right there, there's a little like half moon shaped cutout. Just goes right in there. Okay. Okay, so they were nice enough to give us a handle here on the new battery. And don't forget to put your little insulator cover over the battery. It's probably much easier to do that when it's not already in the car. And then just, you know, press it down all the way, make sure it's flush. All these little half U-shaped, you know, cutouts go up. And then there's two little cutouts in the side of the insulator, and they were facing that way and that way. So I just put them on the same way. Okay, I think we're good there. All right, so I'm gonna get my little battery tie down here. As you can see, this kind of fits in those little U-shaped cutouts, and I don't think it matters which direction it goes. I think it's the same either way. So I'm gonna try to hook this where I showed you a second ago. There we go. And then you just feed it through from the top or from the bottom. Oh. Okay. There we go. In like that, and I'll thread on the nut by hand here. Now you can take the covers, the caps off of your terminals. Oh, also, just in case you forgot, you obviously have to install the positive terminal to this side over here. So just make sure you do that. And we're just gonna press this down all the way as far as it'll go. Most battery terminals actually have a slight taper to them. They get more narrow at the top. So try to snug it down as far as it'll go, just to make sure you get a nice tight connection. And there's no real torque spec setting. You just want to snug it down, guys. And the reason why we want to do the positive first again is so we don't accidentally short out anything, like if we were to touch the handle of our tool to a ground somewhere. As long as the negative side's not hooked up, then we won't short it out. All right, so that feels pretty good, guys. All right, and now we're gonna put the negative on. You will see a little spark when you connect them. That's normal. All right, put the cover on there to cover that up, and then I'm gonna snug down the tie down bolts here, and you might have to hold that stud again if it spins on you. All right, so that's it. You're all done. Now I'm gonna start up the car, see if our lights are all gone. So let's start the car up, see what we got, guys. All right, starts up, that's good. No more battery light, no more check engine light. I think we're back to normal, guys. Hope this helped. Remember to do it yourself.